On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we are back in the shop with the 2008 Subaru Impreza that we worked on last week. And that, I'm gonna say that is 1000% not a lift point. What are you?
It is too.
Eric's like, we're gonna lift on the door.
No, it's...
No, the lift point must be the pinch weld right here, right in front of the back. Yeah, is there like a notch in the pinch weld? That's where...
No, there is none.
Yeah, you gotta lift farther back, otherwise this is falling off the lift. What is going on, guys? I am Watch JR Go, and like I said, we're back with the Subaru, and today we're gonna try to find a problem with it. And if there isn't a problem, we're gonna change a couple things like we talked about in the last video and make sure that it's good to go down the road. So we've got some cool tools to actually do this. You want me to set up the lift?
Well, do you list it on the subframe or these knuckles that are here?
I would say on the pinch weld on a unibody car.
Well, look at it. There is no pinch. I'm not a Subaru guy.
Not a Subaru guy, which means that the standard lift points don't work out.
All cars should have frames.
All cars should have frames. Well, this is the most entertaining video you guys have seen all year. We got some brand new tools just to work on this Subaru. We got the Maddox radiator pressure test kit from Harbor Freight. And this should let us pressurize the cooling system and force coolant out if there is a leak on there anywhere. Hopefully we can see something on a radiator or something like that. You ready to lift this car up?
No, it needs to go forward.
Does it?
I can't quite reach the pinch weld.
Can you get close? It does need to go forward, you're right. We went ahead and threw the Subaru on the lift so we could see if there was a leak somewhere we could find, and guess what? The lower radiator hose looks absolutely horrible, and this must be like it looks like a thermostat housing. It's kind of weird. I think it's just a coolant elbow, but I don't see any other leaks here, but a lot. This has been leaking a ton. It's just...
Well, it had to be. It was completely empty.
Okay, it was low, that's for sure. It was very low. But why was it up top? Why did it look like there was some coolant up top? Because we don't see a leak.
Well, I was worried it was gonna, because this is a...
we can only...
Is this a chain-driven water pump, you said? It's in here?
I would assume it is. Gosh.
But we don't
Look
see
how
any...
much oil this thing leaks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of oil.
And they knew that.
Valve cover gaskets, it's leaking the oil at the head, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But let's pressurize this thing and see what we find. It's a lot of oil. On top of this car, it looks brand new. It looks super clean.
Well, I saw this when we looked at it the other day, but I didn't
All that oil?
It's not oil.
Oh, that is coolant?
It's coolant.
And oil.
That's coolant. That's coolant. Look, this is coolant. It's spraying down the car.
That is more coolant.
It is coolant.
Where is it coming from? I just don't see how it could be the head, but maybe. I mean, that's what they're famous for, head gaskets. But let's pressurize and see what happens. That's the answer.
No, I'm not. I'll stay here.
I'll let the car down. We went ahead and hooked up our Maddox pressure tester here. Super easy. Oh, you turn this? I don't know. All I know is you can release the pressure by going like this. Okay, so there's 0 PSI. And now we're sealed back up, which is really nice.
And you go 12 to 15.
12 to 15 PSI, whatever you want to keep it at.
I'll go 100.
100? Okay, there you go, just past 15. And then we'll watch for a drop. Oh, it's dropping. It just keeps moving away from the line. Well, we know that we're losing some pressure. Not too fast, but we're losing pressure. Let's lift this thing up and see if we can find it dripping underneath the car. That's probably the answer.
A drip would be better than the alternative.
That's right. It's moving fast, guys.
Yeah, it's not even holding.
We found the leak. Shout out to the pressure tester. Look at the bottom of the reservoir right here. It has a little nipple that holds it in. And all of a sudden we spotted these drips starting to run down the hoses right here. It wasn't even the lower, it's been the coolant reservoir the whole time.
It's leaking down onto this, causing this.
And all over the car.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo, it's not head gaskets. We can call that a W.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely cannot get one of those today.
No.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
But you've lost, I don't know, barely, I'd say a half a cup of coolant. Because when we filled it, it was just above that full line. You guys can see it on top there. And it's down just a hair. So now we know we might I'm not against putting hoses on it anyway. It could probably use an upper and a lower. And then let's go ahead and get a coolant reservoir on the way from Subaru. See if O'Reilly's has a coolant reservoir, because that would make our lives easy. I mean, Dorman probably makes it. All right, we're at O'Reilly's. Let's get some hoses that they already had pulled for us, I think. Go ahead, man. And our entire coolant change setup here. Hey, look at that. You got everything.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, check it out. Radiator cap, hoses, bucket. Everything fits in the bucket. Cool. Cool. That works.
Right.
Fastest O'Reilly's trip in history. Let's do this.
If I start running, you think they'll chase me?
No, probably because we paid for it. Later, guys. As we've decided this car has to have tires, $850 for a set, but these are very, very bad. Especially this weird pattern down the tread blocks right there is starting to fail. And these tires are from 2017, and the back tires are of course gone too. So now this car is getting new tires this week as well. Look at that. The tread blocks are gone on the inside, so it's about to hit the cords.
She's drifting it on dirt roads, going to her boyfriend's house.
That makes sense, yeah. We mentioned the only way to fix this is get a new boyfriend. You can't fix the car. All right. That's gonna be hot, so be ready to rock and roll.
It's cold.
Is it?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Is it hot?
No.
Oh.
It's very coolanty, though.
Very coolanty, and there's no oil in it. Good news. So obviously, guys, we got the bucket and we got the radiator hoses. We're gonna go ahead and swap all this out, and then we've got a coolant reservoir on the way. It will be here on Friday. And we're one hose away after that, just that tiny little hose on top from being done with this. This is the quickest job ever. Unfortunately, we had to give up on all of the factory hose clamps. They will not fit over the Gates hoses, which are slightly thicker. But hey, we are putting Gates hoses on it. And of course, those are the best. While Eric's working on that, I grabbed the TPMS tool, went around and checked every wheel on this car. And unfortunately, every TPMS sensor is dead, like we found out in the first video. So it's getting new tires, it's getting new TPMS sensors, we've got new hoses on it, and that coolant reservoir will be here shortly. That's pretty much everything this car needs to keep rocking and rolling for a lot of miles. So that's it for the hoses. We went ahead and replaced everything with worm clamps from the worm clamp collection. It is super nice to have this many worm clamps laying around. And now we're ready to fill the coolant up. Well, now we're both absolutely drenched in coolant. It's just something that happens all over my pants, all over the floor, all over Eric. We definitely got covered in coolant doing this job because there's no drain on this radiator. You just have to yank the hoses.
Everything under there.
Oh, you're gonna lower it down?
Yeah.
Smart.
Well, that was a good working height, but not for dumping.
Not a good dumping height. Yeah. Let Eric finish getting the mess everywhere. Dumping in the coolant. The coolant actually looked great that was in it. So we're gonna run that again and then top it off, and all that should be left is a coolant reservoir. So that'll be a 5-minute job. It looks like it just unsnaps right there. Right here, you unsnap it, turn it, and then out it comes.
Self-aligns with that little nipple in the bottom.
Pretty nice. We already ruined a brand new O'Reilly's bucket. It's completely covered in coolant. Man, I'm about to buy one of those coolant fill funnels. This actually is just making a giant mess. One final check while the car warms up here. We did spill quite a bit of it around the funnel. The funnel just wasn't having it, so we're gonna double check everything right now. Well, it looks like it's all clear under here. Eric's gonna go ahead and lower the car down. And we're gonna call it done for now. Basically all that's left is throwing in that coolant reservoir, which we don't really need to make a video on that. It's the easiest thing in the world. You turn it sideways and lift it out. So shout out to Subaru for making that easy. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shopwatchcherry.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Are you happy? And we are charging the Model X for the last time. The new owner is coming to pick it up tomorrow. And I just learned, this was the craziest part, since I got that new charger, everything ties in together. It added a brand new page to my Tesla app here. And now we can see the cost to charge it. So we've spent $6 so far. Oh, it doesn't know that it's home. We are home. So 100% of charging is at other, but it's actually here at home, and we've spent $6 so far. And honestly, oh, look at that, set charging costs. Okay. So we're in Kansas. Does it have Kansas? It does not. Yeah, well, if you're in Kansas, you're not legally allowed to charge. That's what we learned today. It is illegal. Okay, so we can put in, we have a fixed rate here, and we'll call it Evergy, and the rate plan name is standard. If I remember right, we buy electricity at 13 cents a kilowatt hour. Does that sound right? Sounds right to me.
Pretty close, yeah.
Pretty close to 13 cents. Next, and we have no special pricing at all, save. All right. And, oh, look at that, it's cheaper than the US average. Save. And now it needs to know that I'm charging at home. Charge to 75 kilowatt hours to estimate gas savings. But anyway, it turns out it's actually pretty crazy cheap to charge this thing even. I thought this cost way more than my Volt, but turns out it's not bad at all. Now that I get all this cool data, the car's leaving. Oh well, I love it, but it's time to say goodbye.